Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. Now, let's dive deep into the latest developments with the Cleveland Browns because there's a lot to unpack, and believe me, it's crucial for the team's future. The Browns, as many of you know, have been building a solid foundation for the last few years, especially on defense. But in the NFL, nothing is static. The landscape shifts rapidly, and right now, there's a lot of buzz around their secondary, particularly at the cornerback position. This is where things get interesting, because the decisions made now could shape Cleveland's defensive identity for years to come. Let's start with Newsome. You all remember him, right? The talented cornerback drafted in the first round back in 2021. The Browns, smartly, picked up his fifth-year option last year, which will cost them over $13 million in 2025. That's a significant investment, but one that reflects their belief in his potential. Newsome has been a promising player, and during his first 3 seasons, he consistently ranked among the top 20% of cornerbacks in coverage grade. That's no small feat in the NFL, especially given how competitive and demanding the league's passing game has become. It shows that Newsome has the talent and skill set to be a cornerstone in Cleveland's secondary. However, last year was a different story. In 2024, Newsome's performance took a slight dip, and he finished 166th out of 222 cornerbacks in coverage grade. To put that into perspective, that's right around where his teammate Martin Emerson Jr. finished, indicating a bit of a struggle for the Browns' cornerback core as a whole. It's important to understand that one poor season doesn't define a player, especially someone with Newsome's talent and potential. But it does raise questions about consistency and where he fits in the team's long-term plans. Under the new defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, the Browns' defense took a big step forward in 2023. Schwartz's scheme is heavily reliant on man coverage and cover 3 concepts, which demand a lot from their cornerbacks. In this scheme, players like Martin Emerson Jr. thrived more on the outside, often lining up as the primary corner in base packages alongside Denzel Ward. Newsome, despite his talent, found himself more in a slot role, which, as you might imagine, didn't sit well with him. Earlier this offseason, Newsome publicly expressed his discontent with this positional change, hinting that it might affect his market value if he's viewed solely as a slot corner moving forward. And that's where things get interesting from a team-building perspective. The Athletics NFL staff recently highlighted one contract worth watching for each NFL team, and for the Browns, it's clearly Newsome's. The structure of his 5th-year option is a potential game-changer because, as Zach Jackson pointed out, it gives the Browns some flexibility. Thanks to the way this contract is structured, Cleveland could decide to move on from Newsome before the trade deadline this November without suffering any dead cap hits. That's a pretty significant detail because it means they can evaluate his performance over the course of the season, see if he regains his form, or if trading him makes more sense financially and strategically. Now, the key question is, what does the future hold for Newsome? Well, Cleveland also has Martin Emerson Jr., who has been emerging as a key player in their secondary. Emerson's rise has created a bit of a depth chart dilemma, because both players are talented, but they're also both going to command substantial contracts on the open market. Teams don't usually invest big money into 3 outside cornerbacks, especially if they're all demanding starting roles. That's why trade talks have started to heat up around Newsome, especially with Emerson showing so much promise. The big debate among Browns fans and analysts alike revolves around whether Cleveland should keep both cornerbacks or consider trading Newsome to free up cap space and acquire draft capital. The idea of trading Newsome isn't just speculation. Thanks to his contract structure, the Browns could get a decent return, and if they're not convinced that both Emerson and Newsome can thrive together long-term, trading Newsome might be the smartest move. It's a classic NFL dilemma. Do you hold on to proven talent, or do you trade for future flexibility? From a strategic standpoint, Cleveland could be eyeing the future cap space, especially considering how much money is tied up in their defensive core and the need to extend key players like Denzel Ward or even add more pieces in the draft. Trading Newsome could help them create that breathing room, allowing them to focus on developing younger players or signing impactful free agents. Plus, with the NFL's salary cap always rising, managing money wisely now could pay off huge in the next couple of seasons. But let's not forget the player side of the story. Newsome is young, talented, and has the potential to be a lockdown corner if he regains his 2023 form. His skill set is ideal for Schwartz's aggressive, man-heavy defense, and if he can bounce back from last year's struggles, he could be a major difference maker. On the flip side, Emerson has been impressing with his physicality and ball skills, and he's shown that he can take on a bigger role. The Browns have a real dilemma here. Do they risk trading away a player who might still reach his ceiling, or do they keep both and hope they can coexist in a scheme that demands versatility and talent? In the grand scheme of things, Cleveland's defense is building toward something special. With players like Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney anchoring the pass rush, and a secondary that's in flux but full of potential, the decisions made about cornerbacks like Newsome and Emerson could define the team's trajectory for the next few years. If they manage to keep both, and they perform at their 2023 levels, the Browns could have one of the most versatile and talented secondaries in the league. But if the team decides to trade Newsome, they're betting on the future, on younger players stepping up, and on their ability to replace production without sacrificing too much. And let's not forget the big picture here. Cleveland is clearly aiming for more than just playoff appearances. They want to contend seriously, make deep runs, and ultimately chase that elusive Super Bowl. The secondary is a crucial piece of that puzzle, and decisions about players like Newsome aren't just about this season. They're about the team's identity and success in the coming years. With so many moving parts, it's safe to say that Browns fans should stay tuned because this story isn't over yet. There's still a lot of football to play, and the decisions made over the next few months could be game changers. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Newsome should be traded for future cap flexibility, or do you think the Browns should do everything they can to keep both talented corners? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns as a whole. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news about your team. So stay tuned, keep supporting the Browns, and let's see what the future holds for this exciting franchise. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, go Browns.